In this video, I will show you how to write GenAI applications with almost no boilerplate code, while having access to the most powerful features like function calling, object streaming, or structured output, and having access to 100 plus large language models in a unified API. And to achieve those ambitious goals, we are going to use only two Python libraries, Magentic and LiteLLM. Magentic gives you two powerful Python decorators, prompt and chat prompt, to create Python functions that return text or structured outputs from GenAI models. It works with multiple backends, including LiteLLM that gives you access to 100 plus models in a unified API similar to OpenAI. Today I will focus on Magentic capabilities coupled with the LiteLLM backend. But I have a video about LiteLLM features, so if you are interested, check it out. I prepared a few notebooks to show you the different Magentic features, and we start with the most basic one, the prompt decorator. We start with the necessary imports. First, we use .env to load our environment variables that contains the OpenAI API key and the Anthropic API key. Then, from Magentic, we load the prompt decorator and the LiteLLM chat model. Then, we declare the hello function that takes a name as input and output a string. We put the prompt decorator before that contains first our prompt, say hello to name, and the model, in our case Claude 3. Then we call the hello function with the Claude parameter. Now what happens? Claude is inserted here in the prompt and replaces the name variable. Then Magentic calls with the Claude 3 model and gives us the output. Here is a quick example. We execute the notebook cells and we get the output from Anthropic. Hello Claude, it's nice to meet you, I am an assistant. It's powerful because with the prompt decorator you can equip any Python function with large language model generation capabilities. You don't have to deal with the output, you just get a string that you can display or use. Magentic can work with OpenAI, Anthropic, or LiteLLM that includes access to 100 plus LLMs including OpenAI and Anthropic. That's why in this tutorial I will focus on LiteLLM because it gives you more choice than the alternatives. As before, we have the necessary imports. And then we start with the first example showing you how to change the model using the arguments in the prompt decorator. As we saw before, the prompt decorator takes a model argument where you can specify the LiteLLM chat model you want to use. Here we first use Claude 3. Then we declare another function, hello OpenAI, that will use GPT-3.5 Turbo. So let's go through it quickly. Here, you run the first cell, and the second cell, you get the two outputs. Hello Claude, it's nice to meet you, I am Claude, an AI assistant. And here, you get hello GPT, how are you today? Now, there is a second way to change the model, and it's via environment variables. If we take a look at the second example, we can create a new function called helloenv that takes a name as input and output a string, as before. Now, using Python, we can change the environment to set the backend to LiteLLM and the model to set to GPT-3.5 Turbo or Claude. Then it works as before. We can call both functions and we get both outputs. Now I will show you how to use the second decorator, the chat prompt. This one goes beyond text completion and gives you access to system message, user message, and assistant messages. As before, we have the necessary import. It's similar to the previous example, but we add a few imports for the different type of messages and the chat prompt decorator. Now, let's take a look at the example. We define a function named getMovieQuote that takes a movie as input and outputs a quote as a string. Then we need to define our chat prompt decorator. We start with a set of messages. Here we just use a system message and a user message, but you can use any number of messages you want, including assistant messages. Now we can call our function. Iron Man will get replaced here in movie and we'll get our answer. Let's try it, run the few cells, and as expected, you get your output. Let's move on to the structured output feature. It's a powerful technique allowing you to constrain the output of your LLM to a specific schema. you define a Pydantic class that constrains the output of your LLM to the desired shape. Doing so, you are guaranteed to get an object instance from the Pydantic class as the output from the Magentic function. Let's see how it works in action. First of all, we have our necessary import, now including the Pydantic base model class. Then we need to create some unstructured data for the example. I gathered data from 2 reviews on Trustpilot for ChatGPT. The first review is a positive one, the second one is a negative. Then we need to define a Pydantic model for the reviews. The class review contains the sentiment, positive, negative, or neutral, the grade as an integer, the summary, and the date. The first way to get a structured output from Magentic is through the prompt decorator. Here we define the extract function that takes as input a review as a string and outputs a review object from the Pydantic class. Then we define the prompt decorator by giving a prompt extract a review from review, which is the string, and we specify a model. Then we can call it on both reviews. Here is the output. So we run the previous cells, define our Pydantic model, and then we can run this notebook cell and we get the output. So as you can see, the first review gets a positive sentiment, the second one gets a negative, and we get the grade extracted, the date, the sentiment, and the summary. The second way to get a structured output from Magentic is via the chat prompt decorator. It's quite similar, but we use the chat prompt decorator with the system and user message, where we say you are an expert to extract structured data from reviews, and as a user message, the extract a review from this review, and here the review is a string. Then we define our function extract chat, which takes the review as input and outputs the Pydantic model. Then we do the same, we call extract chat on the first review and on the second one. Here is the output. We get the first review, same as before, the grade, positive, and so on. The second review, negative, grade, and so on. And now one of the most useful features for LLMs, function calling. It's a powerful capability that lets your LLMs decide to call an external function. This function can call an API or execute any code you want. For instance, let's say your user is asking the weather in New York. Since your model does not have access to real-time data, it's impossible to answer. But with function calling, you can give a tool to your LLM so it can fetch the real-time weather on the web. And Magentic makes it really simple to use. So, we start with the usual necessary imports, but now we add the function call. Then, we define a function to get the weather online. Takes a city name as a string and outputs a string. Then we put also some documentation, and we define the code here, so we have a base URL of an API that gives the weather, we get the response and returns the text. The first way to use function calling is via the prompt decorator. Here we define the answer function that takes a question as input, as a string, and outputs a function call. Then we define the prompt decorator. With the prompt first, use the appropriate function to answer the question. Then we define functions. It's a list containing all the functions we want to give to our LLM. And finally, we specify the model. Then we call the function what is weather in Lausanne, and we print the output. Then we call the output because the output is a function call that we can call with the proper parameters, and we get the answers. Let's see how it works. Here we import, then we define our function and we use function calling here. And here you get the function call, as you can see, and the proper output. It's cool, but we can go even further with the prompt chain. See here we get the output, which is a function call. Then we need to manually call it, and we get the output from the weather function. But the typical application is to inject back this result to the LLM, do a next generation, and get an output formatted by the AI. We can do it with the prompt chain, and here is how it works. It's a decorator similar to the prompt. We do exactly the same, but now when we call answer chain, with what is the weather in Lausanne, we get directly the output formatted by the AI, without the need to call ourselves the function and inject the results to a next generation. Here is how it works. We execute the cell. As you can see, the output is better. Now to be complete, I need to mention that you can also do that with the chat prompt decorator. Here it's the same, but we define with the system message and the message our prompt. We also give the tool here, and we call our answer chat function that gives us the output that we call, which is a function call, and we get the answer. Here is the result. Magentic also supports asynchronous execution. It's an important feature to optimize performance. When you generate, you spend most of your time waiting the output from the API. With async support, you release the main thread, giving him the possibility to execute other tasks while you are waiting. It gives you multitasking capabilities on a single thread. For instance, if you use FastAPI, you should use asynchronous generation, because it lets the server the possibility to answer other people's requests while you are generating an answer. Let's see how it works for the prompt and the chat prompt decorators. First, for the prompt decorator, we define a function asynchronous. Here, async def answer that takes a topic as input and outputs a string. Then we define our prompt as usual, tell me more about this topic, and we choose the model. Then we call the function with the await statement to get our output. And it works with asynchronous, async.io, FastAPI, whatever async library you are using. Let's see how it works. We first run the imports, and then we run our cell here, and we should get the output in an asynchronous manner. Here it is. AI, or artificial intelligence, is a branch of computer science that aims to create machines or systems, and so on. Now you can do the same with the chat prompt. Here is how it works. We define the chat prompt as usual, but we use the async keyword to define the function. And then we do the same. And we should get the output in a synchronous manner again. So if you are using server like FastAPI, I really recommend you to use those ways to interact with the LLMs. The last feature I want to cover is streaming and object streaming. Streaming allows you to receive partial answers from the LLM while it's generating. It's pretty convenient to show an output to your user while it's generating instead of waiting for the entire response to be available. Here is how it works. As usual, we have our necessary imports, but we add the stream string and the async streamed string. Then we also add the async iterable and the iterable that we will use for object streaming. The first technique is to use synchronous streaming. To do so, you define a function here, answer synchronous, that takes a topic and returns a string. Then you define your prompt decorator as usual, with the prompt and the model. Now the answer you get is different than before. You get a stream of text. Every time the LLM is generating a few characters, you will get them back as a result. To consume the answer, you need to iterate over all the chunks. That's what we do here. For each chunk in the answer synchronous, we print the chunk. Let's see how it works in action. Here we import, and then we run our function. And here we should see the text that is streamed, as you can see. So we get partial results, and we can show something generating to our user. Now the second way to stream text is to use asynchronous streaming. The second technique is to use asynchronous streaming. To do so, it's exactly the same, but you define the function with the async keyword. Then you define your prompt decorator, and now you will receive responses chunk by chunk. To consume the answer, you will now use the async for loop that will iterate over each chunk generated by the answer async function. Here is how it works in action. And here is how it works. Here, as you can see, we get a stream of text generated asynchronously. And finally, we have the object streaming. It's a powerful technique that allows you to receive objects as a stream instead of strings. See, with Magentic, we can get structured output from our functions. With object streaming, you can receive objects one by one while they are generated instead of strings. We wait for an entire object to be generated, we receive it, we can do any manipulation, display it, or do whatever we want, then we wait for the second one, and so on. Here is how it works. We define a class, a Pydantic class that defines your objects. Then we use the prompt decorator that says create a superhero team named name. Then you create the function and you specify as the output an iterable of superhero. Now, when you call the create superhero team, you will receive object by object. Let's see how it works. As you can see here, we do not receive text as it's generated. Instead, we receive complete objects, which is really powerful. This technique uses synchronous streaming, but we can also use asynchronous object streaming. Here is how it works. We do exactly the same, but this time the function is asynchronous with the async keyword. Then we iterate over the output using the async for loop instead of the synchronous loop. And then we get a stream of objects. And as you can see, we don't need to wait for the entire generation, we get every object as it's generated by the LLM. Thanks for watching. I hope it was a great introduction for you to Magentic and LiteLLM. Those two combined allows you to drastically reduce the boilerplate while having access to powerful features like object streaming, function calling, or structured output. You can also have access to 100 plus LLMs thanks to LiteLLM. Give it a try and let me know what you think in the comments. See you in the next one.